Hello, everyone. Hi. How are you? How's it going? It is I, Trooper SJP, and this is the Academic Foxhole. For real this time. No joke. This is not some other thing. There is no evidence of any other thing happening. Hi, everyone. Hey, Barantor. How are you doing? I am just experimenting. I want to bring up something that you mentioned, but I will. Hey, Levi. I'm experimenting. I've logged into BTTV for the first time ever, and I was trying to figure out how to work it, and I put in some keywords. I haven't figured out yet how to make it so that... Anyway, ooh. The name game. Come on, everybody. I said, now let's play a game. I bet you I can make a rhyme out of anybody's name. The first letter of the name, I treat it like it wasn't there. And then a B or an F or an M will appear. And then I say bo at a B, then I say the name, then banana, fanner, and foe. And then I say the name again with an F, very plain, then a fee, fi, and a mo. And then I say the name again with an M this time, and there isn't any name that I can't rhyme. But if the first two letters are ever the same, I drop them both, then say the name like Bob. Bob, drop the B's, Bo, or Fred. Fred, drop the F's, forward, or Mary. Mary, drop the M's, Mo, Eri. That's the only rule that is contrary. Barantor, 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 Bo, Erantor, Banana, Fana, Fo, Farantor, Fee, Fi, Mo, Marantor. Barantor. Thank you so much for that subscription, Barantor. I appreciate that you used your Amazon Prime, your Twitch Prime, for my subscription. Yeah. So thank you, Barantor. I appreciate this. I've got to figure out. I've got to go make a new emote because I think we get 2 emote slots, and I've got to make a new one. And I've got to. But the things I need a new one to replace the top one, which then I can use to replace the next one, which then I can use to add to the. You know, there's like a process, and I've got to figure it out. But thank you, Barantor. So here's the thing. I think I get an extra emote, and I've got to figure out how to do it because I want to give you all the camouflage heart. So that is my next goal, right? I've got to do emote shuffling. Krellin, you know, there's always a game in my heart. In my heart, there's a game. So I'm going to work out those. So I'm trying this BTTV thing, but I think I don't have it all set up the way I'm supposed to just yet. All I did was I just tried highlights, like the keyword highlight thing. So that'll be a thing. But I have to figure out how to. So I just learned about it. So BTTV, it's Better TV. BetterTTV.com is the website, and it only works for Chrome and Firefox, but it's an extension. You load it up, and then it allows you to customize. I think it does more things than I know, but it allows you to customize your Twitch experience some. Don't play hard, because I shouldn't play. Quit playing games with my heart, with my heart. To get all Backstreet Boys, which is what we did in class on Tuesday. No, part 14 is not counting sessions where we didn't. So like last week should have been 14, but we didn't play games. So I didn't count that as 14. So this will be the 14th actual session of playing the one. So like you get, so apparently with BTTV, you can sort of, do highlights so that if somebody says any particular words, it'll highlight. So, ooh. Come on to my house, come on. Come on to my house, I'm gonna give you candy. Come on to my house, I'm gonna give you everything. Ooh. The name game, come on everybody. I said now let's play a game. I bet you I can make a rhyme out of anybody's name. The first letter of the name, I treat it like it wasn't there. and then a B or an F or an M will appear. And then I say bo at a B, then I say the name, then banana, fanner, and fo. And then I say the name again with an F very plain, then a fee, fi, and a mo. And then I say the name again with an M this time, and there isn't any name that I can rhyme. Crit witch, bo bit witch, banana, fanna, fo fit witch, fee, fi, mo mit witch. Crit witch. Thank you so much for the subscription. So exciting. Yeah, first off, Crit Witch, you did not see that at all. Didn't see it, you didn't see it. Nobody saw that. There's no evidence. There's probably actually is evidence, but I'm going to get rid of all the evidence. Yeah, I accidentally streamed to the wrong profile, but don't worry about it. It's fine. It's totally fine. Whoops. Oh, OBS. So I think what Krellin, the name game. Come on, everybody. I said, now let's play a game. I bet you I can make a rhyme out of anybody's name. The first letter of the name, I treat it like it wasn't there. And then a B or an F or an M will appear. And then I say bo at a B, then I say the name, then banana, fanner, and fo. And then I say the name again with an M very plain, then a fee, fi, and a mo. And then I say the name again with an M this time, and there isn't any name that I can rhyme. Krellin, bobellin, banana, fanna, fo, felon, fee, fi, mo, melon. Krellin. Thank you, Jedi mind trick. No talk, only sing. No talk. There was a song, "Don't Talk, Just Kiss" from back in the 80s. I know, I am. It is true. What I want to tell you, there was a thing. So there's so many things I want to tell you. Krellin, thank you so much for the subscription. You know what I'm thinking? So there are things to talk about. There's so many things to talk about. Oh my goodness. All the things. So first off, I want to thank all of y'all for the subscriptions because there are reasons. I'm going to tell you all a secret. I also have a secret for you, but it's just a secret. So I'm not really telling you. I'm going to tell you here in public on stream, but it's still a secret. So here's the thing. Thank you for the subscriptions because you know I'm going to be running this French resistance game. Where it's going to happen is still unclear at the moment because, Geek Space is doing its thing at the moment. And so I don't know yet the details of the stuff, but I'm going to run it. And I don't know, there are details yet to be determined, but when I run it, I do want to pay my cast, which might have to come out of my pocket. And so all the subscriptions you're giving me here are going to help me pay for that cast. I also set up a Patreon, don't tell anybody, which I've not told anybody about, and I'm not technically advertising it just yet, but that I will set up when I start the game, and then hopefully that will help also pay for cast costs. So I have a secret Patreon, which I've not told anybody about, and I'm telling you, but I'm not really fully telling you, but I'm just noting that I have it. Krellin, you know what, Krellin? Right now, I'm imagining you, Krellin, in a black hat, like a black cowboy hat, being all criminal, but one of those old, or if not a black cowboy hat, one of those black and white striped shirts with the mask, making you look like an old timey criminal from cartoons, because that would also be pretty awesome. That would also amuse me very much. So I set up a Patreon because I know that Patreon is going to change its stuff really soon. So I set one up, which would be to help pay for cast costs for RPGs. Oh, I understand, Krellin. Sometimes it's sketchy. Yeah, no, I see what you're saying. I know. There are many things that amuse me. It is hard. It is hard. So I've got a Patreon, but I'm not telling you where it is yet. But that's the thing, and I'm gonna run the French Resistance. I'm gonna run it this summer. There are just some logistical things that have not yet worked out with the Geek Space, and that will be worked out. And it's fine because right now we are in the midst of madness in the semester, and once the semester is done, then I can sort of concentrate all of my time on prep for French Resistance, and I'm hoping to start it, I don't know, maybe by the end of May would be nice, and then run it, and either on my channel or Geek Space or something, but just in case, right, your subs are going to help me pay for a cast, so that's, I'm thanking you very much. What else did I want to tell you? Hey, Rissa, how are you doing? Thumbs up. Also, here's the thing. Krellin! How did you find it? I feel like Krellin used, the name game. Come on, everybody. I said, now let's play a game. I bet you I can make a rhyme out of anybody's name. The first letter of the name, I treat it like it wasn't there. And then a B or an F or an M will appear. And then I say bo at a B, then I say the name, then banana, fanner, and foe. And then I say the name again with an F, very plain, then a fee, fi, and a mo. And then I say the name again with an M this time, and there isn't any name that I can't rhyme. Je vai, bo bavai, banana, fana, fo favai, fee, fi, mo, mavai. Je vai. I said, now let's play a game. I bet you I can make a rhyme out of anybody's name. The first letter of the name, I treat it like it wasn't there. And then a B or an F or an M will appear. And then I say bo at a B, then I say the name, then banana, fanner, and foe. And then I say the name again with an F, very plain, then a fee, fi, and a mo. And then I say the name again with an M this time, and there isn't any name that I can't rhyme. Rachel, bo Bachel, banana, fana, fo facial, fee, fi, mo, Machel. Rachel, come on everybody. I said, now let's play a game. I bet you I can make a rhyme out of anybody's name. The first letter of the name, I treat it like it wasn't there. And then a B or an F or an M will appear. And then I say bo at a B, then I say the name, then banana, fanner, and foe. And then I say the name again with an F, very plain, then a fee, fi, and a mo. And then I say the name again with an M this time, and there isn't any name that I can't rhyme. Gère, Bobert, banana, fana, faux fair, fee, fi, mo, mare. Gère, come on everybody. I said, now let's play a game. I bet you I can make a rhyme out of anybody's name. The first letter of the name, I treat it like it wasn't there. And then a B or an F or an M will appear. And then I say bo at a B, then I say the name, then banana, fanner, and foe. And then I say the name again with an F, very plain, then a fee, fi, and a mo. And then I say the name again with an M this time, and there isn't any name that I can't rhyme. King Crimson, Bo, Bing, Pin, Crimson, Banana, Fo, Fing, Crimson, Fee, Fi, Mo, Ming, Crimson, King Crimson. I said, now let's play a game. I said, I can make a rhyme out of anybody's name. The first letter of the name, I treat it like it wasn't there. And then a B or an F or an M will appear. And then I say Bo at a B, then I say the name, then banana, fanner, and foe. And then I say the name again with an F, very plain, then a fee, fi, and a mo. And then I say the name again with an M this time, and there isn't any name that I can't rhyme. This is gonna be hard. Kukfonami. Kukfonami, Kukfonami, Bobukfonami, Banana Fanafo Fuckfonami, Fee Fi Mo Muckfonami, Kukfonami. Also, Rissa subscribed in secret when I was not live, but she still gets a name game. Rissa, Bobissa, Banana Fanafo Fissa, Fee Fi Mo Missa, Rissa. Thanks, everyone. And Levi, thanks for all those gift subs. Everybody, thank you for the subs. You are helping me move towards paying cast for RPGs, so it is much, much appreciated. Also, there was something else. Wait. So apparently, yeah, so Krellin did find it after three tries, but he did find it. I was like, oh, it was there. It was there. Hey everybody, thank you for all of the subs, the gift subs, for being here. This is pretty amazing. By the way, how is this for exciting? We are at 427 followers, which is only 73 away from 500. And when we hit 500, we are doing a Pig Latin stream because I like that, because that's going to be exciting. I tried French Resistance first because I thought you were trying to hide it, not just being easy to find. Well, I wanted to be generic enough, you know, but it's fine. It's all right. It's no problem. But yeah, no, I have it. So it's there, and I'm going to, can I tell you, I'm so excited for the summer. So what you missed is that I'm going to run the French Resistance. It will either be on my channel or on GeekSpace or, you know, in that space, but I don't know. And then, of course, right, see, because here's why. Because I feel like the Academic Foxhole is the better name for the Patreon, because that'll be for the, you know, not for me personally, but for the game stuff. That's what I was thinking. So it's going to be run. It's going to be run this summer. I just have to go and figure out the logistics of where that's going to happen. That's all. But I'm excited about that. I am going to, this summer, also run Cthulhu Confidential with Rissa over there offline, so that I can get some, you know, run through it, get to know that scenario, so that I can run that also online, which I will do also, I hope, sometime this summer, which I think will be good. So I've got some moves. I've got moves like Jagger. Oh, hey, speaking of the name game, can I just tell you one thing about the name game that I really love? I love it when she rhymes here with appear. It's first letter of the name. No, there. She rhymes there with appear, and those two things don't rhyme, but the way she says it makes them rhyme, and it tickles me. Right? The first letter of the name. You treat it like it wasn't there, and then a B or an F. Or an M will appear. I just love the way that she says appear to rhyme with there. I love that. It tickles me. It tickles me a lot. Like I get tickled by small things. And this is true. This is a fair statement. I hope you all enjoyed the behind the screens post-show wrap-up for Night Witches and Worlds Beyond. Any more thoughts on Arena? I did have a thought on the Arena, actually. The thought that it was a funny thought. And I'm going to have to think about it. It just occurred to me, and you know what I was thinking about for the Arena? I was thinking, where is it? Where is it? It is on my my shelf is not currently alphabetized, which is my fault. So please, you can judge me and find me lacking. It's fine. Where is it? If my gaming shelf were properly alphabetized, I'd know exactly where it was. But Cthulhu Confidential, Paranoia, not this one. Numenera. Here it is. Sorry it wasn't alphabetized. Here's what I was thinking. I was thinking maybe RuneQuest is what I was thinking, because I know that RuneQuest does have hit locations. There's some kind of debate about Mithras versus RuneQuest, but this is the brand new edition, and I thought maybe this would be good for an arena, right? D100 hype. And it does have some interesting tactical choices. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look into getting through this book, because maybe, yeah, right. That's why you mentioned Warhammer 4E, right? So I'm just thinking, because a lot of the other ones like D&D 4E doesn't have hit locations, a bunch of them don't, and I thought, maybe. So this is what I'm thinking. And also, full disclosure. Here, let me put this. There we go. So full disclosure, when I left D&D back in the old days, I told you that I moved on. Like, well, actually, this is not fair, because to be honest, I was playing D&D back in the day, but very quickly I was really interested in playing other systems as well, even in the early days, because, you know, TSR was, I should run BattleTech. This is true, Krellin. Oh, okay. Drive and don't get into any car accidents. French Resistance 2219. I mean, I was always interested in other game systems, even back in the day. Like, the minute Paranoia came out, I got it and I played it, and I was playing Marvel Heroes and DC Heroes, and I mean, just anything. I was really interested in all the different game systems that were, hey, Ice Bunny, that were around. But I mentioned that I found this Call of Cthulhu group that really sort of kept me in gaming. But while Jan was running Call of Cthulhu, her husband Chaz was running RuneQuest. And so I was playing both Call of Cthulhu and RuneQuest back. And I really enjoyed RuneQuest, good times. And I thought, or any. Or any. What? So my point is that I remember playing it back in the day, really enjoying it, and maybe I'll have to look into it. Maybe RuneQuest might be a good system for an arena. I'll have to check it out. Also, Jer recommended Rain as another posture. Now, Rain is sort of focused on a bit more higher level, so you get to sort of run larger units, but might have some good stuff. So I want you to know, arena things are still in my brain, which is good because I have maps. I've put together a Roll20 game and everything. No. Any. Don't get into any accidents. That's it. No, not many accidents, any accidents. No accidents. Oh, BattleTech has a canonical arena. It's true. That's true, it does. Who runs Bartertown? Master Blaster runs Bartertown. We already have a BattleTech game. Solaris 7. So that's what I was thinking. I was thinking maybe RuneQuest might be an option. I'm gonna have to reread the new edition to see how it feels. I actually have the old edition over there as well, reprint. So that the arena is still bubbling around. I'm gonna run some Cthulhu Confidential because Rissa has graciously agreed to be my guinea pig for me to allow me to test some stuff, and then I'm gonna do this French Resistance. Ooh, somebody's watching me. And I have no privacy. Whoa, I always feel that somebody's watching me. Tell me, is it just a dream? See, Spider, thanks for the follow. You're helping me get closer and closer to a Pig Latin stream. So that's awesome. Are you saying that Zio covers all the demand for BattleTech that exists in the world? Yes. No. Yes. No. Maybe? Possibly. No. Yes. I don't know. Maybe. You ever get into how you doing, Sea Spider? You ever get into a loop where you start saying something and then you say it over and over again and then it gets really weird and then you can't stop saying it. And then it's because it's, have you, like, that happened to me. I'm going to tell you the story, somewhat edited. I was hanging out with someone and I was like, this is what happened. I swear to you, this is what happened. I said, what time is it? And then she said, I don't know. And then I said, it feels like it's been hours. And she said, I don't know what time it is. That conversation you had with yourself sounded like the conversation I heard a dad and his son having in Walmart today. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a very good question. I need to check. We need to work on our emotes. Jer, you and me, we have to talk about it. I need to think about this. Oh, so I said, what time is it? She said, I don't know. I said, it feels like it has been hours. She says, I don't know. And then I said, I bet it's only been 15 minutes. And then she was like, huh. So I looked at my watch and I said, oh, it's 2:15. And she's like, and then she said, I can't read your watch. And I said, huh. And then we had the exact same conversation word for word, including the gesture of me looking at my watch immediately after that. And it just was like, I was like, is this really happening? Am I actually just repeating a conversation? And then it was this thing where you're like, well, then I'm going to say the exact same thing I just said. Will she say the exact same thing she just said? And then she did. And then we just kept going that way. We did the same conversation 3 times in a row. I don't know why, but sometimes that happens, right? I don't know how many emotes we need. I've got to figure that out. So anyway, the point is, shenanigans. That reminded me, a little kid was in with his dad today and made the cutest faces when I was loading their trailer. Absolutely gobsmacked. Oh, see, that's adorable. Oh, Rissa, I did get your doodle poll for dates on the Cthulhu Confidential. I'm going to have to check that out and look at my calendar, which I can do so soon. Today was the last day of class, everyone. Last day of classes. Tomorrow we've got presentations, we've got final exams, so we've got stuff to do, but no more classes. Which, and then I went to Albuquerque, and I forgot to turn left. I missed the left turn at Albuquerque, is what I think happened. Last day of classes today. It was a good class. And I just have to do my final exam and then do a bunch of grading, and then we're good. Put on some, school's out for summer. All right, so what else do I want to tell you? Oh, we have a giveaway today. It's going to be Cube 2. That's going to be our giveaway. And we've got a lot of gaming happening over the summer. I'm going to try to learn a couple of things, see what I can do. And that's it. No one ever comes to Albuquerque. You know, if I came to Albuquerque, I would totally visit you. And I feel like there's got to be cool things in Albuquerque because I've been to Tucson. I drove through Tucson, not at all Albuquerque. Also, you know, gang, I'm going to be playing in 2 different streams over the summer. At least I said yes, I was asked and said yes to 2 different streams. So I'm going to be streaming as a player 2 different streams. I feel like I shouldn't announce it until there's been some kind of an official announcement, but I've got 2. I've got 2 games that I'll be playing on, starting up, I think one starting in June, and one should be starting up pretty soon. I don't know when, but really soon. So I've got 2 games I'm playing in. I'm planning on running at least 1 game. Bugs Bunny I think Bugs Bunny is on his way to Pismo Beach, but misses the left turn at Albuquerque, and then ends up somewhere else. Right? Isn't that interesting how the lighting really does? Like, that's... but you need a queue clearance and need to know, I want to see all the interesting things in Albuquerque. I know, isn't that interesting how lighting, I need to, you know what? I need to do more lighting stuff. That's what I need to do. That's what I need. So we are playing Where the Water Tastes Like Wine. I swear we're doing it. For me, nosebleed's impossible job until I blew my interview. Oh no. I don't have a queue clearance. I don't have a need to know. I have a want to know, which is different than a need to know, but I have a want to know. No, it doesn't matter. Crone's like, no, full derail mode. Derail mode. I want you to know that I don't even know where we are right now. We have, wait, can I even look? Here we go. I just want to... I know that need to know is important. Need to know is super important, and I don't have it. I want to, I feel like, so first off, Krellin has told me that Albuquerque has really good Mexican food, and so I want to go to Albuquerque to get the Mexican food there. I feel like it'd be really good. I imagine Albuquerque's beautiful, right? Like, I imagine it is gorgeous, maybe. So, we have 1, 2, 3... 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have 10 people to visit. We got this. Very pretty sunsets. Oh, I want to see the sunsets. We're gonna find out who this person is. We're next to a person, Mason. Oh, this is our World War I soldier. I don't remember what he needs. Oh.
When everything is left here, all that remains is a peculiar peace.
Ooh. This is our World War I soldier who was, didn't get paid, and it's the Depression, and he's now a wounded hobo. Yeah.
It's hard to keep it, especially considering the panic that comes on sometimes. Sometimes when it's hard to breathe.
This is Twitch, says Curl. You don't play video games on Twitch. I mean, some people do. I sort of do, kind of, in a way. Oh, I know what I was saying. I want to say I hope you all enjoyed that After Action report with Lauren and I on Geekspace TV about Worlds and Night Witches. Remember when we were here last week and I was like, I want to do an After Action report. And that's what we said last Thursday. I said I wanted to do it. And I thought, you know what? I shouldn't do it alone. I should do it with Lauren. And then I contacted her and she said yes. And so we did it. So, good ideas. Team distraction, chat. Team distraction. I want to get through this so I can just start wandering while we're talking, because walking and talking is pretty easy to do.
Truthfully,
I hope.
The light being gone is bad enough. But the way people look at you, that's when I miss being whole the most.
Ah, this poor guy.
So anyway, tell me a funny story? You seem like you know a few good ones.
Yeah, you want a funny story? I don't like... Why do you want happy and funny stories? Those are not necessarily things that I have. I don't have... I'm not a funny story kind of person. I've got stories of murderous tomcats and bad things happening in the world. Like, that's all. I think I can probably max this person out just by telling people stories, because I don't think I've got them. Team distraction, chat. So chat, by the way, how are you all doing? What is happening with your lives? I'm interested, because I feel like I haven't talked to you all in ages. I also feel like I don't remember which stories are funny and which ones are not. But I don't know if I currently have any funny stories. Because none of these feel funny. Yeah, my Skelly's like, a music teacher with the body songs, that could be funny. Right, that could be a funny thing. I hope, right? Come on. Yes.
Wish I could tell that one to my sister.
I feel like rather than modern news media, I think I'm stealing people's souls.
Joy is a clean garden, a clean life, with my favorite plants all growing together proudly. I'm not sure that I'm capable of enjoying people anymore, but the plants are good company.
Levi says, I've come to the realization that my job is sucking the joy out of my life, and so I need to figure out how to fix that ASAP. Ooh. Levi, that one's tricky. Work trip to Amsterdam. That sounds fun, Rissa. That sounds fun. Well, it depends on how much, if you're gonna have any free time, or if it's just gonna be like fly, work, fly back. Because whenever, when you have like work trips that don't allow you any time to actually enjoy yourself, that's rough. That is rough. I hope it's okay. Levi, it's tricky when you have work that is so time intensive that it sucks away your soul. The question becomes, is there a way to adjust your work so that it is less soul sucking, or add other things outside of work that will make up for the work part, right? It sort of depends. I hope, I'm gonna knock on wood, I hope that you can find a way to manage that, because I will tell you, I understand where you're coming from. Like, I love my job, but right now the admin is like crushing me. Just so much admin that is like not soul fulfilling, but you know. I'm just extremely introverted, and interacting with dozens of random customers on demand for many hours a day, 6 days a week, just makes me totally exhausted, and I'm turning into a hermit. Oh, Levi, that is rough. That is rough. Ooh. You know what, Levi? I'm going to tell you a thing that I feel like is not going to help you at all, but you're the owner. Can't you hire someone to do that stuff instead? Like, back in the day, what people would do is take smoke breaks, right? I mean, I do not smoke, but I knew all the smokers I knew in the Army. They would just go and take a 15-minute smoke break, and to get a little bit of recharge introvert time. Is there a way that you can get some kind of, like a little bit of a break of some sort to recharge? And, maybe not, maybe. I was supposed to buy it last year, and that didn't happen. Ooh. Well, the issue wasn't on your end. Will you be able to buy it, Levi? Will that be a thing that can happen? Also, I'm glad that your vacation's starting soon. That is nice. Smoke breaks?
Tell me a happy story. Something to make the world seem kind.
I think I actually do have a happy story. Maybe. I feel like, maybe. We will see. What is the business, Levi? By the way, what is it? Not the name of it. What kind of business is it? You don't have to tell me the specifics. Oh, I understand that. I understand that. Searching for. I would be able to, but now I'm not even sure I'd want to. The only thing keeping me there is the benefits. Ooh. What would you, do you want to keep working there? Or do you want to do something different? I don't know how to categorize all these stories. So I think what I'm going to do is tell... Oh, the stories of the farmers who give me lemonade. That's really nice. That's a good one. I feel like that's happy.
I got nightmares enough without hearing that kind of horror.
Oh, come on. They gave me lemonade. Dang it. Sell bulk stone and mulch and retaining walls and stuff. Retail. Mm-hmm.
If I had my way, I'd go back to a time before the war. But now, I have no wishes. The stars cross the sky. They mean nothing.
I suppose doing retail as an introvert can be difficult, right?
Know any good jokes?
Customer service?
I'm not so good at telling them anymore.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you a joke. I'm going to tell you somebody else's story, because clearly I'm going to have to meet you twice. And we're going to just tell you Dupree's tale. It'd have to be in a capacity where I don't need to interact with customers.
Yeah, Paul would have liked that one.
And the company is too small for that. Told the owner for the benefits I do all the paperwork and try to start something else with my free time. Maybe?
Luck? I don't know how to think about that anymore. When did my luck run out?
I think the issue, from what I understand from Krellin, from Levi, is that because work is taking all of his social energy, then he just hermits off of work, and he would like to do some non-hermiting thing. I can see that.
How many other men got scratches from that rusty barbed wire? How many yards of wire on how many deadly fields led to the scratch on my leg, the one that took my own body from me?
Oh.
It made me a burden.
Ooh, he lost his leg from what, probably tetanus?
So anyway, tell me a funny story? You seem like you know a few good ones.
I don't. So I'm going to tell you some other kind of story. I'll tell you Jimmy's parable. I think I'm going to have to visit this guy one more time, though. Because...
Wish I could tell that one to my sister.
Hey, Neo, how are you doing? What is happening with you over there in Florida? Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, right? That
Trust? I never really considered trust an issue till I got back and my leg was rotting.
Yeah, I can see how that's really rough,
I
Levi.
didn't trust the doctors, I didn't trust my sister Jessie, but once the leg had to go, she actually helped me take care of it. I could actually trust her.
I'm glad.
Did my mistrust cause my problems? Should I have had faith all along?
I don't know. I cannot tell you, Mason.
Do you know any happy stories?
No, I do not. I know lots of stories of dead people is what I know. Like, that is what I got. I got stories of dead people. But I'll tell you the story about Thea's Blues. Ania, what are you doing in your life? You should tell me.
A moment there. Just a moment. I felt better about it all, too. Traps. Lack is what holds you down. And that's just as bad as heavy chains of plenty.
Rissa, Ania's playing Call of Cthulhu, but also 5th edition like we are. Ania, what happened in your Call of Cthulhu game? What happened?
I can grow stronger with chains on. But when lack takes away your ability to move, takes away your mobility, there's no growing from that. The night's over. I should be getting ready to go.
We are really...
I'm headed up this way next.
Okay.
The journey's long, but it's not cruel.
We are really close to finishing this person, and I think we're just going
There's
to
cruel people in the world.
do that.
But the road and the mud don't mean anyone any harm. The little flowers in the ditches don't. Look for me, maybe. Perhaps we'll see each other again.
We will. We will. We are going to, He should be... I think he's gone south. So I think that's him right there by Columbus. We're going to just go talk to him and finish up his story. We just need to tell him one more thing, and we should be good. You know, Triple M, do I play video games? It's unclear to me. I feel like maybe I don't. Maybe I do. I have a very good friend of mine who's from Columbus. Aneo is going to tell us what happened in her Call of Cthulhu game. Also, Aneo, who's your investigator? Tell us about your character. Triple M, Aneo, tell us about your character. Who are you playing? We're going to just finish him up. Like, just finish it. We just need to say one thing to him, I think.
Still walking too? Then you and I must have a little more in common than I thought. Do you also get a kind of peace from the road? I do. It's a long walk, but it's soothing in a way. The terrors still find me, but out here, where I've got a reason to move,
Ooh.
I don't feel so helpless.
Yeah, I want to know about this, Aneo, tell us about your story. Oh.
My brother Paul used to love scary stories. Tell me one.
Oh, I think I can do that. Also, we've got, I want to tell the story of, so my character, Mark Harrigan, has an on-again, off-again relationship with an explorer, Jackson. Ooh, I'm doing well now that I'm hanging out with you all. What happened? What are you doing? I'm going to tell the story of the murderous tomcat because I think that's pretty scary. That scares me. And what
I used to love that kind of dark campfire stuff.
Perfect.
In a way, my change came on like pause.
Perfect.
Piece by piece.
Yeah, it is.
Slowly, his infection took him, just as mine did.
Are you in the 20s?
Slowly, he lost the people around him, as I have too.
Oh, by the way, I'm going to be hosting Critical Role tonight in case people want to hang out
Even
here.
though he's gone, I feel like we may have more in common now than we ever did. Maybe it'll take my mind off my sorrow to hear about somebody else's. Tell me a sad story.
Now he wants sad stories. Here's what's happened. Since we maxed him out, what I'm going to do right now is try to learn some things about stories. to find out what I can think about them. Jackson called me to round up a team of investigators to go on an exploration with him involving a recent disappearance and murder of a previous expedition. Where is the expedition? 20s? Where? I want to figure out the story of the scab with the black eye. What kind of story is that? Egypt. Ooh, nice.
I wish I could talk about what happened in the trenches the way you do.
The scab is sad.
I'd help someone to understand.
That sounds fun. You know, I really want to run Mask of Nyarlathotep. I've got some really good, massive Cthulhu campaigns, right? I've got Mask of Nyarlathotep, and I also have horror on the Orient Express, right? Yeah, and I want to run both of those. I would like to. Nothing bad ever happens in Egypt. When we met up with Jackson, his hotel room was locked, and upon breaking in, there were 3 dudes with machetes ransacking his room. That's rude. That's rude. Is Jackson okay? Alive? Hey, Pumpkin, how are you doing? Welcome in. Aneo's telling us about the Call of Cthulhu game that she just played that has been really fun. She and the rest of the group went to go and find this guy named Jackson who was giving them a mission, but his hotel room was locked. They broke in, and there were 3 guys with machetes ransacking the room. Machetes are rude. I hope nobody died. I hope nobody died.
Laws and leaders? Well, Hoover will be gone soon. Hopefully this will help the American people know how cruel and how wrong he's been, how much he hurts his own.
We killed 2 of them, 1 escaped, and Jackson was ritually killed on his bed, entrails scattered everywhere. That's awkward. Awkward. If you run mass and don't invite me, I'll cry. That's fair. That is fair. There's so many things I want in my life. I want to be a world traveler and just travel around the world playing RPGs. I feel like that would be really amazing. Now we need to find out who killed Jackson, avenge his death, and find out what his plan was for us. Blood sacrifices in Egypt. It's fine. It's fine. Did anybody lose sanity? Anybody lose sanity for that entrail ritual murder? Yeah, that on-again, off-again relationship is off. It's hard to have a good relationship when, there are entrails everywhere.
Even animals know damn better.
Ooh.
Do you know any happy stories? Hopeful ones?
No. I don't. I am going to... No sanity losses yet. So just for the record, I'm just leveling up some stories and finding out what kind of vibe they have. That's pretty impressive, no sanity loss, right?
I liked that one.
Oh.
There's some hope left for you too,
That was a happy story, apparently.
Too quickly. The past still lives in me.
That's nice. I'm apparently not doing so poorly. That's
I'm telling
good.
you, friend, but the terrors come in the night and in the day.
I feel really bad for this guy with shell shock,
It's like I'm in the trenches again, surrounded by the dead. Then the terrors pass, and I'm on the road. And the road brings me peace. But then the night comes, and the dead come again.
This is making me think about mental health.
Tell me a happy story.
And in the past, right? I'm thinking about the ways in which our understanding of mental health is so relatively recent. Do you know what I mean? Like we often, people can make fun of Freud, but at least start thinking about mental health in ways that I don't think we did in the past. And I think it's at least interesting that I wonder how people treated people back in the day. Probably just poorly, right? They put them in asylums. Yeah, the 3 of us rolled 9 for income. I got a 6, and our last one we got a 4. So you got the money. All right. The story of the cart horse faster than the steam train. I tell that story.
Sorry, I don't get it.
You don't have to get it. It's fine.
They say that God has unconditional love. I don't doubt it. But my love for him is not.
Okay.
Know any good jokes? I'm not so good at telling them anymore.
No, I'm just telling stories that I want to tell is what I'm doing, to try to figure out what I can learn. Let me tell the story. Yeah, I'm going to tell the story of the woodcutter, because maybe... I don't think that's funny, but it'll do something.
That can't be true. That sounds like a Navy tale. Home, well, what heartless greedmonger decided what plants get to be beautiful and what plants are weeds anyway? Who said that peony has cash value, but a dandelion is worthy of being torn from its home?
I feel like this is a metaphor, my friend.
Before the war, I had Paul. I wasn't often alone.
That's his brother, twin brother, I think.
After the war, it wasn't only my family turning away from me. It was our government turning from what they couldn't bear to see.
Ooh, that seems like a... You just gave me an idea, Levi.
But remember, no matter what happens to you,
that's true.
Always have the solidarity of the road and the earth. They will never deny you their company.
That's right, shamans for mental health issues, and I suppose priests back in the day, right? Yeah. I loved how proactive the RP was, though. In the group I'm in, we're usually reacting more. Oh, well, good. You know, but here's the thing. I've got to tell you, Aneo. I think the system is often... the system... So I do think that system matters. I know that some people... Like, I really do think system matters. It does. It's not 100% everything, end all be all, but I think it does matter. And I think that, in my experience... The way that I have played Call of Cthulhu with whom I've played, and this has been more than one person in many different places, there's something about Call of Cthulhu that encourages more active RP. Same thing with Vampire. And I think there's something about the setup for Call of Cthulhu where in your investigators, like that is what you go into the game knowing, makes Call of Cthulhu a bit more proactive, I think. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's not always or necessarily the case. More packing. But I think, like, for example, in D&D, a lot of the setup was there's a dungeon, you go out there, and then you just sort of like do the dungeon. And I think that because most of the characters' skills are combat-based, it might not encourage as much proactiveness. But I think, I think there's something about the fact that Call of Cthulhu is set up as investigators, which might lead to more proactive RPing. Maybe. Also, I have Gumshoe does Cthulhu Confidential, which is the one-on-one. They also put out, it's not out yet, but I pre-ordered it, so I have the PDF of Night's Black Agents, which is, they have a one-to-one version of that now, Night's Black Agent Solo. And I was thinking about Night's Black Agents and seeing if I want to run that at some point in time. And that's where you're spies trying to chase vampires. We did it. We did it, everybody. We cleared out Mason. And I feel really good about that. Just so you know. But I need clothes and stuff for a 2-day anime. Anime convention. I have never been to an anime convention. Werewolf 2, when I was LARPing back in the day, the pandemic really helped encourage RP. It's no. So there is I know, I'm sorry about the progress, Krellin. I'm sorry. There was so the setup is that Dracula was real, right? So there are vampires. I suppose it's sort of like Hunter, except it's different in that you're kind of like Jason Bourne spies, and you find out that there's a big vampire conspiracy, and your job is to try to take it down. Oh, you're running a panel. Oh, that's cool. Hey, did I tell you all about... Do you all know about the Dracula dossier? Do you know about it? Where is it? So the Dracula dossier is this campaign that was written by Kenneth Haidt, and it's for Night's Black Agents, and I think it got one of those, it got an Emmy award or some such thing, and by the way, what is your panel on, Triple M? And so it's the idea that sort of the part of the conceit of the campaign, which I would love to run, and it's like a big, sprawling, sandboxy sort of campaign, is that the book, Dracula, by Bram Stoker is actually real. That it was written by that Bram Stoker was actually an agent for this organization, and that that basically Dracula was the government found out about vampires, tried to recruit Dracula as one. It did not work out, and so there's got the whole big book, which is it's over there, the Dracula dossier. It's got all that. But what they also did is this here is a prop. This is the book Dracula by Bram Stoker, but by Bram Stoker, but it's been annotated in character. So let me see, I can show you. It's really cool. So here's the book. It's the full novel Dracula, but hold on. Let me see if I can find a moment for you. Okay. You're not gonna be able to read this very well, but let me show you. So if you can see, whoop. Hold on, wait a minute. This will be easier for you here. So if you can see here, in the book there are these annotations in both green and red ink. And the annotations are by different secret agents, right? And let me go here. So there are I think there are 3 different agents. There was one from the time period when a little bit later, like in the 20s, and one in the present day, and they were all annotating this novel. So, for example, on this page, it's Dr. Seward's diary, right? And Francis A. Town's appointment book. Letter, Quincy P. Morris to Honorable Arthur Holmwood, January 1st. My dear Art, and then there's this note that says, Volcanic island in South Seas, reference von Reichenbach, obsession with plan to establish German colony there. We've told yarns by the campfire in the prairies, and dressed one another's wounds after trying a landing at the Marquesas, and that's underlined Marquesas, and drunk healths on the shore of Titicaca, and then it says lake in the Andes. There are more yarns to be told, and other wounds to be healed, and another health to be drunk. Won't you let this be at my campfire tomorrow night? I've no hesitation in asking you, as I know a certain lady's engaged to a certain dinner party, and that you are free. There will only be one other, our old pal at the Korea, Jack Seward. He's coming too, and we both want to mingle our weeps over the wine cup, and to drink a health with all our hearts to the happiest man in all the wide world, who has won the noblest heart that God has made, and best worth winning. We promise you a hearty welcome and a loving greeting, with a health as true as your own right hand. We shall both swear to leave you at home if you drink too deep to a certain pair of eyes. Come. And then there's another note saying, 71 West Inn Club need a member to sponsor to join to get in, or to have blood on 3 continents, soldiers and spooks. So there's all these little notes in there like, well, this cannot be related to engagement. They already know. London news? Rozhenko mentioned the letter. So there's all these ways in which it's rereading the novel as basically secret hidden clues. And Titicaca. Right. So you can, now the thing is, you can actually just read the full book to get all the clues, but they also have a PDF with just the annotations if you don't want to go through and read the book itself, which is super fun. But they've got like a PDF so you can just read the annotations itself. And all these annotations are clues. And I think it starts off with you getting this book, right? And then you use that to sort of decide where you want to go as players and try to unravel this dangerous mystery. So that's really exciting. And, I'm really interested to see what the gumshoe system is like for a full party, since I've only run it for one-on-one. But, oh yeah, I'm supposed to drink water. Yes, it's true. I got a little bit distracted, but that is fine. So, the waitress at this diner is sharing an outlandish tale with one of her regulars. I heard it from my sister-in-law, she says. It happened to a daughter's friend. It's true. She notices you're listening. Hey, have you heard this one before? Which one? She regales you with a story about the magic stones which lured the Sky Woman's human children to dance across the earth. Halfway through, you realize that it's the story of the trickster who lures humans with magic stones, but highly embellished. What do you think about that? The waitress exclaims. It's an interesting tale. Iffy! Is that a moist owlet? Sure is, she agrees. And true, every word of it. Well, let's move on. Iffy, welcome in. How are you? I'm so excited to have you here. We have been very productive. We're also talking about all of the things. Let's go, let's see if we can find a crossing. There is a campfire right over there, and we should find a way across. Oh, I should just look at the map. Where are we? We are here. We need there's a crossing over there by that city. We're gonna go over there, go to the crossing, find out what's up. That's it. Yeah, so I love good props, and I think that it was super ingenious for them sort of taking the vampire novel and sort of creating these annotations, and that's really neat. And I would love to run that one too. I do, the thing is, I actually enjoy modules if they're really well done and allow for customization. Ooh, work lurk. Work lurk. Work lurk. Iffy, what are you doing? What's happening in your life right now? By the way, Iffy is such a superhero. Iffy was out in Seattle, got back Tuesday night, and then got me the overlays so that I could put together so I could host behind the screens the next day. So brilliant. Iffy's brilliant. Like, he's a super, some people are just really good. Dinner is about to happen. I already had dinner / lunch. Linner. I already had Linner today. Well, thank you. I had a good time. I thought that was and there were some great questions from the chat, which I was trying to write down, take notes on it so that I wouldn't miss it. I know, work lurking. I like a work lurk. Listen to this, blurts a boy loitering outside this grocery store. He works his way through a long and strange story about a clan of lightning-dazzled mole men. There, he finishes. What do you think? Wait a minute. Ooh, Chinese? I love Chinese food. Holy shit, you know this story. It's the story of the strange men hiding from the rain, but wildly altered. For a couple of moments, you're too surprised to respond. Seriously, the boy insists. What do you think about that one? And I'm going to just say, it's a great story. He smiles sheepishly. Thanks, he said. I heard it from my brother. What did I have today? I had a baked potato, some peas, and some chicken broccoli wrapped in chicken. Ooh, Popeyes. Popeyes is, I love the biscuits. Popeyes biscuits are delish. Oh, I love that banjo going on. Yeah. So gang, can I tell you? By the way, I'm just gonna be walking and we're gonna be chatting with each other. What? All of y'all had good food. I'm jealous. There was a thing I wanted to tell you all. What was it? It was, I forgot. Behind the screens, Italian food, Popeyes, biscuits. Oh, their biscuits are really good, and they do have good shrimp. Actually, that is true. Dang it! I wish I could remember. What is the name? We're in the Northeast. Yeah, it was words. It probably was. I had it. I remember what it was. Sorry. Believe I'm the same person. Some also having Chinese. I knew you two were the same people. No, I remember it was. It was. I know somebody who was like, they hate modules, right? I was talking to somebody who hates modules, and I don't hate modules. I just hate poorly written modules, right? Do you know what I mean? Like, I think a good module is like wonderful. I love a good module. I just think it's sometimes, there are different kinds of modules. Do you know what I mean? I love tailoring an adventure to the players, but a good module should allow for customization. Sorry, that is super, those are really judgy, that's judgy language. modules that I appreciate most allow for customization. And I think one of the things that's no, I told Vulpes I'm sort of playing, it really is. No. Yeah, I mean the thing is, I think that people don't recognize that there are different styles of modules, and sure, it's because maybe they're not as many, but like I think there's like a particular style that dominates module markets, and that's the old school dungeon. But that's not the only thing that is out there. Pumpkin is correct. You also do need to know how to use a module well. Yeah, I love modules, even if you don't run one exactly how it's written. There's a lot of inspiration and things I can borrow. Oh yeah, I also love. I love a wide range of things. Like I like a good, interesting module that you can do stuff with, that you can use as inspiration. Also, I've got, where did I put them? Like these I also really like. This is just a show and tell today, obviously. This is Traveler 101 Plots. So these are just little, like this really thin little book, and they're just plot ideas, right? And there are 101 of them, and each one is just like a little idea. So for example, red herrings, adventure hooks for a range of not so good jobs. Number 4, the fraud. Here's a little message that you might find if you're playing Traveler. I lost my password and need a software specialist to recover it. And then there's the name and number. Folden, and there's number. What Folden has is an automated teller card that was found in the street. He thinks that it is a relatively simple job to read the password off the magnetic strip and get into the account. In reality, the card was invalidated and thrown away several days ago, right? So there are all these little hooks that you can use to build off of, and that's really nice. I like things like that where you just get a little bit of, you know what I mean? Like you just are like, oh, that's neat. Beckett's Diary was a fun module type thing. Yeah, so like I think there's like a wide range between little hooks that you can use to sandboxy modules that are really open that allow you to move anywhere you want, to very directed modules, to something like a Paizo Pathfinder adventure path that's meant to take you from level 1 all the way to 20. But there's like a wide range of things, and I think I mean, I'll tell you the truth. I'm not the biggest designer of dungeons myself personally, like map maker. I'm not a huge dungeon designer. I wish I could be better at that. And so I'm happy to take a map of a dungeon map that somebody else has already created and then populate it myself. Like there are a lot of things that I think are useful. Let's see. This man reads the newspaper with barely contained horror, his grimace spreading wider and wider as he makes his way down the page. Suddenly, his frown cracks into something with a little more amazement in it. Whoa, he says. No, wait. Whoa, he says. What's the matter? He reads out a story about the invisible gunslinger. You're shocked. It's the story of the gunshot man outside the saloon, but with some bits changed. Do you really think this happened? He asks. Oh, yeah. He shrugs. Sounds like nonsense to me for sure. The stuff they print these days. So, just so you know, we did some very good telling. I'm gonna just switch out a couple of stories. Whoa. All right, let's see if there's any stories we can switch out. I don't think so. Nope, we're good. It was the first-person story of a vampire investigator, and at the end of each section, it drops a lot of hooks that we can take into the story. Oh, that's cool. I gotta tell you, I love some props. I love props. And not many surfers in Charleston, West Virginia. You know, there was hold on. Give me a second. So we are still playing, but I just have to tell you something. There's a documentary called, it's called Into Great Liquid, maybe? Is that what it's called? No, that wasn't called. Into IMDb. Into let me see, Brown surfing documentary. I have to tell you this because it was really not The Endless Summer, not Surfing Holidays, not Thicker Than Water, because those were the old ones. I want the new one. Hold on, I'm going to find it because I have to tell you about this. What was it, Joey Lawrence? Whoa. Point Break, Step Into Liquid. That's what it was called. So there's a documentary called Step Into Liquid by Dana Brown, who was the child, the offspring of the guy that made all those 1950s, 60s surfing documentaries. Bruce Brown, I think is his name. Father is, oh, come on. What's his father's name? They're not telling me right now. But here we go. His father was named Bruce Brown. That's right. So it's called Step Into Liquid, and it is a documentary. It's like those 60s, like Endless Summer, Surfing Holidays, all of that. But it was sort of filmed in 2003, and it just goes around the world. And it sort of interviews different surfers, including, really interesting, I thought, surfers who surfed the Rio Grande in Texas, who will surf behind oil tankers, right? So like oil tankers are like surfing down the river and they leave a wake. And so these surfers will get in and they'll just surf the wake, but because the wake never dies, they just surf for miles. They'll just like get on that wake and just surf it for miles. And then they looked at some people who surf the Great Lakes. And then they hit, creepy, scary. They hit people that surfed the big wave surfers who surf waves that are like 80, 90, 100 feet tall in the middle of the ocean. And they go and they take a boat out to the middle of the ocean or a helicopter, and they get like speedboats to tow them into the waves because there's no way that they could paddle fast enough to catch the wave. And they get on these surfboards that have straps to them, kind of like a snowboard, because but if they like fall off the surfboard, they're just gonna die because it's like 100-foot wave, which is like a skyscraper, which is like, what are you doing? Yeah, I'm just saying, right? That this is like, why are you, hello, what am I doing right now? Come here. Boom. Yeah, when I saw them surfing that 100-foot wave, I was like, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? You know what I mean? Like, you'll just die if you fall off that wave. That's all I'm saying. That's all. There's an FBI Point Break. Yeah. It just, there's like surfing, like, oh, hey, look, 10-foot wave. Woo. And there's like, let's go into the middle of the ocean for a 100-foot wave. Like, what are you thinking? This is what I'm like. But you know what, though? That was not even like a thing that I'm gonna worry about. Like, you know what? If you're gonna do it, you're gonna do your thing. I'm not gonna judge too heavy. Like, just, you make your choices, but I would not surf a 100-foot wave because I would be afraid that I would die. But I suppose I'm also not 16 anymore. When I was, I'm over here for a reason. When I was young, I made some stupid decisions. Yeah, the wave isn't dangerous, it's the drowning. No, I made bad decisions as a kid. No, you know what though? No, Vulpus is like, you're judging. I'm not judging them, I'm saying that I wouldn't do it because it would freak me out. So maybe I'm judging myself. I have a mosquito research and development building only a few miles away. Oh, huh, really? I think when I was a kid, I lived in San Francisco, and I found a skateboard when I was like, I don't know, pretty young. So like 10, 11, 12, that age, I found like a good skateboard. Yeah, hitting against a reef is worse than drowning. Yeah. And it was like a good skateboard, not like one of those like plastic banana boards, but like a really good one. And we had these like, because where I was living in San Francisco, these really big hills, like really, hold on a second. Come here for a moment. Sorry. We're going to do this again. Really big hills like this. And what I would do is I would start at the bottom of the hill, and I went up one square on the sidewalk, and then I rode it down, and then I didn't fall off. And then I went 2 squares up the hill and rode that down, and then 3 squares up the hill. And I got to the point where I could no longer roll down the hill, skateboard down the hill on the sidewalk, because getting to the end of the sidewalk would be a problem, because then I'd fall off the curb and pitch, so I would then go down in the street itself. And I got to the point where I could start at the top of this hill and skateboard all the way down. But it was like a San Francisco hill, so it was super, super steep. And at the bottom of the hill, there was a stop sign. So if you were going down the hill, you would have to stop. And because there were hills, like you had no visibility to the oncoming traffic, like the side street. But I couldn't stop at the end of the hill. So I would just start at the top, zoom down this hill. Hopefully there were no cars coming. Just zip through that intersection. Yeah. I mean, I just made poor choices as a small child. This is all I'm saying. Poor choices. This is all. There's a virus people get from cats. Is it toxoplasmosis that affects how people assess risk or something? Oh, that's interesting. Cats are trying to get us. I've lived as long as I have by not doing risky things like that. Yeah. See, Krillin, you can't get him off the game talking without having to talk about RPGs. But this was skateboards. Delivered a phone book to them once. Their entry was like an entrance to the Hellboy building. So you're like, these are not mosquito people. This is not mosquito. This is shenanigans. That's all. So yeah, I mean, when I think about that nowadays, and of course, what I wanted to say was that, of course, when I was doing this, because of the time period, there were no helmets and elbow pads and knee pads. So I wasn't like wearing protective gear. I was just on a skateboard going down massive San Francisco hills, hoping not to die. But I wasn't thinking about death because I was 12. Not humans. We're going to find out who this is, and we're going to talk to them. And we're going to... Oh, Little Ben. Little Ben.
I don't know you from anyone.
Oh, this is our miner who doesn't like me very much.
But maybe in the end that don't matter so much, so long as we're after the same things. A little firelight, a little morsel, a minute or 2 of company.
Yeah, it's fair. Oh, I think we're learning about labor relations from this person.
Well, I ain't got much, and I sure ain't got more than that. I'll share what I have.
My dad's brother taught my dad how to ride a bike by shoving him down a hill. You know, people made... I'm going to teach you how to swim by throwing you into a river. Like, maybe you'll die, though. Like, I don't... I just... Triple M. I worry about things like that, because what if rather than learning how to ride a bike, you just fall off, you know? Bikes are a lot easier to keep when you're going fast. Did you really learn how to swim by them just dumping you into a large body of water? Oh.
You do the same for a stranger one day, bye.
Worrisome.
Can you tell me something sad?
Neo,
You just want a story that goes with how the world already is.
are you a good swimmer, Neo? Strengthens the gene pool. Don't need no wimps that can't immediately swim in our gene pool. Hey, if that's how John Wayne teaches people to swim, it's good enough for me. Wouldn't it be funny if John Wayne couldn't actually even swim? That would be hilarious. He wants a sad story, and I do have some sad stories. So that's, we're going to tell the story of the boy who died in the fields where no one could be called to collect his body, because I have a lot of dead children stories. Oh, you float too easily. All right. That's how someone tried to teach me to swim. I had to be rescued by the lifeguard. This is what I'm trying to say, B-Boodle. Also, welcome in, B-Boodle. I'm a little dense.
That hurts, but it's a good hurt. The sorrow's one thing we all share.
Thanks.
We asked for change. They cut us down like goddamn dogs.
Yeah, this one we learn about labor relations in the 1930s, and it was not good. Not like it's great now.
We just come into the union, workers, their wives, the widows, everybody.
we left the oceans. Evolution says, I don't need to swim.
The river turned to blood like something out of Exodus.
Oof.
And if they find me, they'll do the same. I can't stay here, you understand.
Ooh, brutal. Hey, Falcon of Venom. This game is really interesting in a horrible way. I mean, in this game, you have to tell stories to people, and sometimes they want happy stories. I'm like, all my stories about dead children. I have no happy stories. I have. Oh, yeah. We should. Jer, I think can you add the quote? I think I can. Here, let me see. I think it's add quote. I'm a little dense. Trooper SJP 2019. Yes. You know, Trooper, if you'd had less stories about dead children, I'd have less stories about dead children if I stopped killing children, I suppose. But you know, sometimes you just gotta tell that story. Also, we have a learned command. We haven't added, but so we added one to the learned. Learned. What do we learn? Mary's only joy in life is double entendre and Chardonnay. That's from Barandor 2017. Yes, that was from Dream Daddy, which was classic. Classic.
See anything exciting out there on the road? Mostly I just seen dogs.
The future. Oh my goodness. Oh, what did you want? You want a thrilling story. He wants a thrilling story, everybody. Thrilling? The story of the stabbed and bleeding bull. Story of the wandering man murdered by his romantic rival. Story of the music teacher. Brawdy stories. Something thrilling. Woodcutter with incredible strength seems sort of thrilling. I'll tell that one. Right? I mean, that seems like it could be thrilling. Hopefully.
You'd be popular at mealtime
Yes.
where I'm from. You'd keep a whole crew glued, I bet.
Yes. Okay, I'm feeling good about that.
Pretty here. How many human bodies you think it's built on?
A lot of human bodies. This game, by the way, is not a feel-good story. It's a dead person story. My dad's older sister and brother put him in the clothes dryer. I never did that. I sometimes wanted to climb into a clothes dryer myself.
I'm just being figurative. Mostly.
I wasn't being figurative.
Got any funny stories? Must have a couple.
I do. I have a funny story. I have the story of... What was that? I had a funny story. It was the story of... They're okay now. Yeah, no, I'm oof. Kids can be mean. Kids can be mean. Where was my funny story? I don't... What did I have? Did I have a funny story? You're on your own. Oh yeah, body teachers. Body music teacher, that's one. That's one I got. Yeah.
You got some wit, stranger.
They made choices in their youth. Choices? We make choices?
Joy is when you speak up for your brother, and then he speaks up for you.
Hey, I feel like you're a 1920s red. I like
You gotta
it.
stand on a firing line to know you won't be standing alone. See anything exciting out there on the road? Mostly I just seen dogs.
He wants another exciting story, and I don't know. So the story of Trooper, making choices in my youth. You want a thrilling story? I'm gonna tell the story of the cart horse faster than the steam train, maybe? That could be maybe thrilling. I don't know if it is or not, but it seems like it could be thrilling.
Guess there ain't no joke that works on everyone.
Nope, that wasn't it.
Why ask me about love? I had a chance
That wasn't
once.
it.
I think it's past. That's just the way it went.
I told you all that one of my colleagues studies
I
hobo
wanted
music,
Hills
right?
To my ribs show, but I wasn't gonna do that to. You can't do that to a wife. I need a laugh. Know any good jokes?
Not really. I don't really know any good jokes because I don't have happy stories. I have miserable stories and also sad stories, and stories. No, I don't have happy stories, is what I'm trying to say. But I'll tell you this one. That's all. Oh, wait, I think this. Yeah.
You are a pretty funny one. You know that?
Thank you. Thank you. I need one more
Authority means being afraid.
One more eye on
even
this
though
guy.
You know you're not the one in the wrong. And you can't show your fear, because you got all the others counting on you, looking to you about what to do. I had no time to get frightened. Not even when they were dragging Union men and strangers alike out to the hills to get shot on suspicion of being Reds.
It was bad in the 1930s, everybody. Like, it was bad. They just murdered people.
You just had to tell the workers again and again how it was going to go right for them in the end.
Yeah, and so, you know, Vulpus, that's the thing, right? That actually a hobo is different from, like, a hobo very specifically is a traveling person.
Even though sometimes I wasn't so sure myself. Here comes the dawn. Headed out this way. Can't say where specifically. My safety and yours, you understand? My journey ain't so long as the crow flies, but it's winding. Detours for hiding, for dodging dogs, men with guns.
I think...
See, I don't have to run from you, though.
No.
If we run into one another out that way, maybe we'll share a little fire again.
Certainly. Certainly. I think I'm actually pretty close on that guy. Maybe. Where are we with him? Progress. He's our minor. He's in chapter 2. So actually, we do have a little while left on him before we can finish him out. So we'll think about that. That's rough. I don't know how I feel about that. Everybody, I don't know how I feel about it. Because it's going to be a while with this guy. A long black car growls up in front of this hotel. Out steps a woman in an extravagant hat and coat, followed by a whole crowd of hangers-on. Is she a singer? An actress? You don't recognize her face, but to your surprise, you recognize the story she's telling. In a sharp transatlantic accent, she's telling everyone in her party a story about the maritime strikers murdered by police. It's clearly the story of the scab with the black eye, but changed in a few entertaining ways. Isn't that something? She asks. Her various followers agree. She pays the driver of the limousine and sweeps into the hotel like a thunderstorm of red velvet. Someone should do a picture about it, you hear her exclaim. Let's move on from her, shall we? I am concerned because you cannot, I don't think once you max out the eye, you don't get any more extra progress. And so I'm a little concerned about the timing for that minor guy. Also, I'm not quite certain how I'm going to go and pass by this river. Where are we? It looks like, well, yeah, no, there's a river. I can make it. It's fine. It's fine. Maybe it's not fine. We're in West Virginia, peoples. Yeah, I'm not quite certain how I'm going to cross this river because I never learned to swim because I'm a skeleton hobo. Oh, that's okay. There's a passing. There's a crossing right over here. We're going to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh. It's the favorite, everybody's favorite burg. What we're going to do is we only need one more question. Although if you're a skeleton, I feel like maybe you don't even need to breathe. You just walk underneath the water. I'm not sure I'm going to cross this river because it's the Rubicon. Hey, did you see that Mythbusters about, you know how in movies, like there's more than one movie where the people need to escape, and so they take a rowboat, they turn it upside down, and then they walk along the bottom of the ocean, and they have the air from the upside down boat, and that keeps them alive until they can cross. And the Mythbusters wanted to test this myth to see if it would work. And I have a friend of mine who went to school at Pitt, and I actually gave a guest lecture there. It was very nice. But apparently, the problem is not that you wouldn't have enough air. Pittsburgh, you should be able to just walk on top as long as it's not on fire. See, now I've got Country Road stuck in my head. Oh yeah. Country roads take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, mountain mama, take me home. Country roads. Yeah. So Cleveland? No. So what happened was, when they were trying to do the thing, there were two problems. One, it was really hard to keep the boat level so that it wouldn't tip and then all the air would escape. So you had to be really strong in order to be able to keep the upside down boat level so you wouldn't lose the air. But the problem was, basically, there was no way to hold on to it. The deeper you went, the more upward pressure there was, and there was just basically nobody could actually hold on to the boat. Yeah. Right? There was just... Basically, people just couldn't do it. People could not hold on to the boat. It would basically always pop out of their hands. And so it was busted. It was a busted myth. Though I do remember as a kid thinking about it and thinking, oh, I would like to do that. You know, escape with the boat and the movie magic, my friends. I just read that one. Let's see. She's telling everyone in the party about the arsonist who burns down gambling dens all over the country. It's clearly the story of the poker game at the Winnicott Hotel in Atlanta, but changed in a few entertaining ways. Stupid buoyancy. Yeah, boats want to float too much. They just need to try harder. That's all. So we just need one question for this miner to open him up the eye completely, and then we can, ditch out. Yeah. Give a bunch of... So I think what they ended up having to do was weight down the boat in these really sort of complicated ways.
Well, here you come again.
Hello.
We've seen a bit of each other now. Not enough for me to know you, but enough to share a fire.
Thank you for sharing a fire with me, little Ben.
You'll forgive me for being careful. Ain't nothing else to be out here if you want to see the sunrise.
I understand that you've been traumatized, little Ben, by all of your friends being murdered in front of your face. So I get that you're a little paranoid.
Sit down. Share a little dinner.
Oh, thank you.
Let's talk a while.
Okay.
Cold out of our lungs.
Sure.
See anything exciting out there on the road? Mostly I just seen dogs.
He wants exciting stories, and I don't know about that. I'm gonna tell the story of the gunfire. I don't think it'll go, but because I don't quite know.
Stranger,
No.
Miners tell me sadder stuff than that every day of the week.
That's considered a sad story.
Authority means being afraid, even though you know you're not the one in the wrong.
Hey, there's I don't know if you have Netflix, but there is a show on Netflix that I recommend. It is called Churchill's Secret Agents, the new Churchill's Secret Agents, and there's a colon and the new recruits, I think it's called. And it is basically the show and tell. Here we go. So I have, for the French Resistance campaign, the British government Special Operations Executive put out a bunch of these sort of training manuals. So this is the Partisan Leader's Handbook. This is How to Use High Explosives. Operational Stores Handbook. The Art of Guerrilla Warfare. And I also have, it's under a different name. It's called, what is it called over there? It's called, and then I got, the W.E. Fairbairn techniques. And I think there's one more that I want that I ordered already that is still in boxes that I have to unpack. I'd like to welcome the FBI to the stream. Welcome in, FBI. Because the SOE, the Special Operations Executive, which is the precursor to MI5 and MI6, they had this training program where they trained people to be resistance fighters, partisans, in Europe and actually Asia, everywhere. Welcome, government overlords. And that training, those training manuals have become declassified. And so there was a reality show where they just took regular people and sent them through this training like they did back in the 40s. And it was really interesting to see the training. The show's a tad disturbing because they're taking civilians and teaching them how to murder people. So that's a little bit disturbing, but I recommend it anyway. It's only 6 or 7 episodes, and it's really interesting to watch. And there is this one... And the tests are really fascinating because the tests seem like they're one thing, but they're often actually about how perceptive you are. So there was this. They did what was the OSS, which would become the CIA, went over there and learned all their techniques from them and then came back over here. Knowing how to murder doesn't mean you're going to, but you know, it was just like, here's how you take out sentries. And I was like, jump on people, gouge them in the eyes. And I was like, all right. But so there was this one, it was so fascinating. They brought all the recruits down to a lake. And this is also, they did this in real training. So there's a lake. In the middle of the lake, there's like a raft, like a floating platform with some sensitive material in a box on it. And on the shore, there's all these materials to build a raft. And they said, okay, your mission as a team is to get to the platform in the middle of the lake and bring that thing back without it getting wet. So you have such amount of, you only have so much time, go at it. And immediately what would happen is that people would just start trying to figure out how to build a raft. They're like, how do we do this? And they try to sort of work this out. But the thing is, there was an already built raft halfway around the lake that was already built. So if they had decided, rather than just sort of taking everything at face value, but decided to scout around the area, they would have found a completely working raft and they wouldn't have to build anything. They just would have gone in and taken it. But most people didn't look, right? So there are a lot of missions wherein they would say you have to do this thing, and they give you like the obvious thing, but if you looked a little bit more a little bit more closely, you might find an alternate route, which was very cool. Yeah. One guy found the raft. That is right. And it was so funny, Jared, because like one guy was like, I'm just gonna look around, and the one guy found the raft, and like, but the other team, they didn't. They're like, let's build it, and of course you don't have enough time to really build it well. But one guy found the raft, and it was so funny because he's like, I'm gonna look around. Everyone thought he was so silly because there's like some take charge kind of guy who's like, let's take charge. And this one like kind of nerd dude, he's like, I'm gonna look around, and he's like, I found a raft. It was like pretty cool.
And you can't show your fear.
I enjoyed it.
You got all the others counting on you, looking to you about what to do.
Mm-hmm.
I had no time to get frightened, not even when they were dragging Union men and strangers alike out to the hills to get shot on suspicion of being Reds.
Yeah, it was a real. There was a. Oh, and there was another test they had, was like one of their later tests, which was also pretty intense, which was where they were brought to a hallway, and outside it, like to a door, right? They're in a hallway, there's a door, and they say, right, always do an investigation check. That is the story, Iffy. So there's a door, and they said, okay, on the other end of this door, there's gonna be a high-ranking Nazi official sitting behind the desk. Your job is to go in there and kill this person. And they didn't have any weapons on them. They had to just like go in and kill this person. And so the thing is that they go in the door, and there's a mannequin, you know, like a dummy sitting behind this desk, and the people would just like run in to attack this thing, but like on the desk there was like a really heavy sort of cane that they could have used, but they weren't paying attention to what was on the desk. They didn't look at their environment. They just rushed in to attack this person. Also, there were two guards standing in the corner of the room, and they didn't see them because they just rushed in. And so I'm thinking about how to simulate this. Like, it was barbarians, but it was really meaningful because people got so intense that they didn't pay attention, and so then they missed some things. And I'm trying to think about how to simulate this in an interesting way in an RPG. And this particular test where you rush in and you don't see everything that you need to see because you don't take time. Tunnel vision, right? Yes, tunnel vision is super real, and I'm trying to figure out a cool and interesting way to simulate tunnel vision in an RPG setting, and in a way that would be, because I also think about the ways in which there are a lot of times when players make characters that are, yeah. I think this is what I'm thinking, Krellin. Something like this, like awareness checks, to allow. I think what I might do is but the thing is, I think some of it has to do with pacing, right? So, just for a second, some of that thing has to do with pacing, and my current thought is something like, this is fair, Falcon, but I think there's a way in which you can maybe do this through description, right? Like, as a GM, use really urgent quick things like, yes, because of the shared narrative experience. What I'm thinking is something like this. The players say, we go in the room, what do you see? And then I say, like using really quick language, like, there's a desk, there's a man behind the desk. Quick, what do you do? Right? Like really trying to make this sort of sense of like just the gross, most obvious things you see when you have tunnel vision, when they walk into a space, but don't give them the map yet. Just be like right in front of you, there's a desk. Behind the desk, there's a man. There's a curtain. Go. What do you do? Like, you know, like, and like the desk has things on it. Like, but not say what those things are. But just sort of give that kind of slightly chaotic initial moment, and then say, what do you do? And then if they ask for more details, I will say, okay, do you want to make an awareness check or do you want to act? Right? Like one of the two things, and give them the choice of either slowing down and looking or just attacking first, right? With like a surprise check or whatever. And I think that with a certain kind of exciting narration that sort of gives a general sense, but makes it also clear that that they don't have everything because they just stepped into the room. That if they want to get a fuller sense, they're going to need to do that awareness check. I think that might be really good because, hold on. If the players are up to it, add a time element, like a turn clock or a legitimate minute timer. Yeah. Obviously, only the players are cool with that sort of stress. Hey, drummer boy. I think something like Roll20 could simulate that, where you have an outline of the room, but Fog of War on everything but what you see when the second you open the door. Yeah, something like that. And you'd need to sell the urgency. A turn clock would be interesting. And I think what would be, I think, valuable about this, because I'm thinking about RPGs, and one of the things is that I don't know if you've ever played an intelligent character in a combat-focused game. Yeah, like a running clock with bonus subtraction from rolls. Because if you're playing an intelligent character, a perceptive character, very often once combat happens, you don't have things to, you know what I mean? Like there's a bit of a, in a super heavy combat-y thing, people are like, oh, intelligence or wisdom, that's a dump stat, I don't need it. So giving a moment for characters who actually are really good at perception and awareness to be able to do something by taking a moment to assess, I think would be really good. And so I think that would be, and I think that, and again, I like giving players hard choices. It's my favorite thing. So this moment where you walk into a room and you have the choice of immediately acting before anyone does anything, or you could actually check out the situation right before you can do something before we enter initiative, or you can look, right? And I think that is, that could be an interesting thing. And I think that might be interesting to play with. I'm playing an intelligent wizard in a D&D game with a lot of utility and abjuration spells. I do a lot of hiding during combat, right? But maybe, so there's a moment where maybe make one of those hidden item puzzles, right? That could be good. And I think, but now here's the thing. Again, this is with how my mind works, sadly. I just lost my window, bad timing. Oh, okay. Come see the VOD later, Crit Witch. I think there's something about, I do a lot of running and hiding in my campaign. By the way, we're going to do this giveaway for Cube 2, which is a puzzle game. And you just have to say something in chat in the next 5 minutes, and then you'll be in for the giveaway. Or would you like to gather info? Yeah. Would you like to gather info or attack? You can't do both. If you attack first, you miss something important that may come up later, or you look around now, the combat just got harder. Yes, I think something like that. I think that will be really interesting. But actually think about that a bit more, so that thinking a little bit more about Fog of War to make combat a little bit more exciting that way. And I also think, and this is where like my GURPS brain comes in GURPS, you can have combat reflexes. There's an advantage called combat reflexes. And if you had combat reflexes, I would probably give you some kind of a bonus, or maybe you could do both. Oh no, I should have tried to negotiate. Yeah, right. Like maybe you could have tried to negotiate. So I think I could imagine somebody having some kind of advantage depending on the system that would allow them to have less tunnel vision, right? Where once you get trained, if you get combat reflexes or battle experience or something like that, then that wouldn't be an issue anymore for you, or less of an issue. But I think that if you're just starting off as somebody who's just starting off in this thing, that I want to be able to model the kind of tunnel vision that they had in this show. Yeah. So, I mean, for me, what I think, like my current thought is giving people a choice of act or assess if they jump in, and they get to choose which one they want to do, and make that their choice. But then if they have an aspect or an advantage that gives them sort of combat vision or cool under fire, something like that, then they would get better information. Like they might, you know what I mean? So something like that. But I think that would be like that. I think would be really interesting, and it's something I'm really thinking about playing around with the French Resistance game, because I want combat to be a little bit chaotic until they get really experienced. So I want, yeah, right. Also degrees of act plus observe, something like this, and I also think about maybe make an awareness check before they open the door, and have 3 images, or an image with a demon overlay that you can place in the room to simulate tumor vision. Or maybe the action you take this round, you must take again next round. Something like you must complete the task you set out to before your view widens again. And I would, depending on the game system, right? If it were GURPS, I know what I would do. I don't yet know what I would do in Fate. I'd have to sort of think about how to do this in Fate. I've got to sort of get the rules a little bit better. Right. I like what type of game characters idea the players are. I like normal people, right? I like the idea of normal people who then can become trained heroes. But I do enjoy the stories of normal people. And if this were GURPS, I would ask the players, has your character ever been in combat before? Have you ever killed someone before? That, like, for me, this is a question that I really like asking in games that I run. We're going to get back to playing, I swear. But I like to ask this question in games that I run, which is, I almost also think that even if you get a good observation check, you can only see 3 things in one turn. So that's interesting. Also, this seems like something that would be great exactly in a French Resistance campaign, for example. So, for example, one thing I really like to do with, I didn't do it for Night Witches, but it's this thing that I like to think about. I like to ask the players, tell me something. Has your character ever attacked someone before? Have they ever killed someone before? Have they ever been in a fight? Have they ever been in combat? And I want to know that question, the answer to that question, because, yeah, right, Falcon of Venom, that's really interesting. You were in a D&D game where I killed for the first time in the first session. And if it were in some games, the first time you kill someone, I might call for a fright check, right? Like, you know, some kind of a fright check or a sanity check, depending on the system. But once you get hardened to it, like, but if you told me like, oh, my character was like a street tough who got into fights all the time and fought with knives, then I'd be like, okay, you don't need to roll that thing. But as you continue on in your combat career, right, your career as an adventurer, as a resistance member, then I'm not going to make you roll for those rolls anymore, because you have now become conditioned to it, right, in a particular way. And that's really interesting to me. Right, I think that Drummer Boy is saying that idea of Ifrithiel is good, and maybe you can get a little info on 3 things, a little more useful info on 2 things, or a bunch of info on a single thing. See, that's really good too. Oh, and you're the cleric. Ooh, Falcom, how's your cleric doing after that first killing? Right? How is your cleric doing? Ooh, oh, that's cool. And I know that like Call of Cthulhu has things like that. GURPS has things like where you can simulate that sort of thing. Oh, she's a mess. Ooh. Falcon, can I tell you? I love that. I think it's good. Like, I love that sort of a thing. And I imagine that your cleric will be, yes, right. You stop having to make fear horror checks against mundane horrors like killing and corpses by taking a talent. Dark Heresy. I don't have it. I should look into it. So just like, I think ways in which I'm interested in ways of thinking about characters as people. Jaded. Oh, nice. You know what I have to do? I've got the Fate horror toolkit. I want to read it and see what kind of tips they have for things like that. Her next combat, she refused to kill the wolves because they were just hungry. Oh, What level are you at this moment? We're going back. But see, so I'm thinking, oh, sorry, I was going to do that, but now I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go back over here. We're going to find out who the winner is for our giveaway. Cube 2. Crit Witch! Is Crit Witch still here, or did Crit Witch leave? I feel like Crit Witch, are you here? Crit Witch, are you here? I think Crit Witch might have left. Oh, wow. See, that's exciting. I really like the way that you can do cool character work by just thinking about questions like, I think Crit Witch did leave for work. This is true. So we're going to do this again because Crit Witch I know left. Levi! Congratulations, Levi. You have a puzzle game waiting for you. You think, give it to Crit Witch. All right, well, the thing is, I need to be able to... All right, I will do it. I need to find Crit Witch, though. Let me see. Crit Witch. I need to find his face in chat. Crit Witch, where are you? Let me whisper. All right. Tell Crit Witch, you cannot escape. I'm gonna whisper him the thing. Crit Witch. I know, that is true. You won our, I'm telling you what I'm writing down. Give away Cube 2. Everyone, hold on, that's not how you spell it. Everyone says congrats. And there. Boom, did it. It's really hard to do it on the Saturday because I'm on the PS4. But there we go. I just gave it to Crit Witch. Crit Witch has got it. Boom. Now, we're there. Yeah, nice.
Just had to tell the workers again and again how it was going to go right for them in the end.
Yeah, so I'm really interested in how to, make combat really interesting in different kinds of ways. Like I will tell you something. I love combat in an RPG. I really do. I also love no combat in RPG. I've played RPGs with no combat at all. But when there is combat, I really like that combat to be interesting, have interesting choices, and really, I mean, for me, the best thing, which is not easy to do, it's not easy to do at all, but for me, the best thing is if you can get your combat to also be a way to RP. And I don't just mean, let me rephrase that. I love it when combat can also tell you something about the character. That I really like. So if combat needs to be boring or you're doing it wrong, I see you, Krellin. But like, I like to know something more about my character at the end of a combat than I did before, right? So like with Falcon learned more about the cleric, right? About this cleric through that combat. And then there are consequences later on, and I love that. And that is like my...
Even though sometimes I'm not so sure myself.
You know what I mean? Like, that's like the sweet spot where there's you can learn something.
Anyway, I need to think about something else. Know any scary stories?
I do.
Any spooky stuff?
I do. Combat is 95% waiting around. Krellin, there's so many games I want to GM. I just want you to know that there are so many games I want to GM, and I just want you to know it. The clock is for Blaze of Dark can add to that tension. I think also there are different ways to. We need a scary story. Man who seemed alright with death. Dungeon World does that really well, I think. A lot of the enemies doing this, what do you do, as opposed to, okay, they hit you and you take this much damage. But I also think the thing is, I think that kind of damage-based thing can also be scary and exciting, but not when you all have 100 hit points. Do you know what I mean? I think if I'm gonna tell the story of the unnerving lounge singer. Maybe that will be scary. Maybe? I don't know. I hope?
Come on.
No.
Don't try to cheer me up with that lying nonsense.
Okay, apparently that wasn't it.
Ask me about love.
Dang it. Dang it.
He's passed. It's just the way it went.
So, Over the Edge, which I
run to the hills till my ribs show, but I wasn't gonna do that to...
with my
do that to a wife.
Excuse me. Sorry, I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to the miner. With my upcoming real-life campaign, I think I'm going to try to narrate most HP losses as narrow misses and having confidence shaken for the PCs. That's interesting.
Got any funny stories? Must have a couple.
Yeah, look at this. This is not what the life is like. There was so in Over the Edge, which is coming out with a new edition, that would mesh with how Gygax intended HP to be. Totally, it just gives a player the agency to act instead of dice saying you took damage because the dice say so. I just feel like with Gygax, it was always very inconsistent. What did you want? You wanted a happy story? Yeah, it's neat when you learn about a character through how they fight, how they react. Yeah, I love that. I think that is so great. So, I'm going to tell the story about the mysterious woman preaching the gospel. Like, maybe that will be happy. I don't know.
Well, just seems like wishful thinking to me.
Apparently not. That's not it.
Faith. I'm sure. We call it God-fearing. But you ever been down a coal mine, friend?
I have not.
No room for fear to squeeze in then. Back then,
Over the
every
edge.
day I'd get up with the quiet black dawn, and by way of prayer, I'd say something like, "Not gonna be my day," and that'd be it. It's not like you ever forget to be careful, for all the good it does. But then every day, you and the others come back up out the mine, you see the stars, the night sky comes into your lungs, all alive like. At those times, you feel like, well, you know, that's about it for me. Anyway, I need something to laugh about. Got any funny ones?
Yeah, I don't think so. So in Over the Edge, there is an option that they recommend that you don't have to do, wherein the GM tracks all of the players' hit points. The players don't track it themselves. So the GM will not tell you how many hit points you've lost, only that you've taken damage and sort of describe it. And they say that's like sort of more realistic. But I just feel like that's probably, it just seems like a lot of logistics for the player. You know, like, I'm sorry, not for the player, for the GM. That's a lot to track, and I don't know. Exalted is combat mostly to initiative, then actual damage. Usually it takes only one or two decisive blows to kill someone, but the enemy has to have low enough initiative they can't react properly. Tell a story about the trooper who talked RPGs and never played video games. That's a happy story. I could tell that story. I feel like I've heard that story before. Yeah, Oh, I think I actually might have a happy story. He wants a happy story. No, he wants a funny story. I don't even know about that one. Yeah, that's like a lot of logistics for the GM. Just tell the players not to use numbers when they talk about how bad off they are in combat. I live that story. I think he wants a funny story, right? And I have a happy story, but I don't think I have a funny story right now. And I feel like, you know what? I'm gonna tell the story of the truck driver that's stuck. Maybe that's funny. Probably not, but.
Come on, stranger.
Nope.
Tell me something true.
Nope.
Family.
All right,
Once there were four of us.
we're gonna max this out next time.
Poor Ma and me. What could I do but go to work for her? It was the end of my playtime.
Ooh.
No more song and dance.
We sometimes want to hear the game music, right?
I need a laugh.
Nope.
Know any good jokes?
Nope, but that's okay. We have a way around this. This miner is hard to please. We're gonna tell the story of Franklin's travels, and that's gonna max out our eye, and then we're gonna be fine. Don't even worry about it.
Oh boy. You watch out now, or I'll start chuckling.
I know, right?
Sadness. Yeah. Some of those who died were friends to me. Like brothers to me. Gave up a lot Being a union man at first. Speeches are for preachers. Miss Halliday. She always told me that, laughing at me in her way. I wonder where in the world she is now.
Dead. Sorry. Because these are my...
Hope she's happy. Lots of healthy babies. But she ain't married a minor.
This is a story of dead babies. This is not
Heading out. Up this
It's
way.
not a video game.
Still can't say exactly where I'll be tomorrow. You ever get a loose thread, and when you pull it, the whole works come apart?
Yes. An arc completion story always, like, the story of the people always count as a match. So you can always get a match
Every one of us gets mastered
by
something.
using one of the people's
Try to get out
stories.
from under it. What if you never get to know if you done right?
Dead was a thought in my head. Yeah, right? I'm just saying, dead. It's never going to be good.
You ever, you know?
What? So, we only need to meet him one more time, I think, to max him out. And by the way, we're going to do that. We're going to get 2 stories, 2 arcs done. You know it. I'm very proud of the fact that we're going to do that, I swear. And then, you know, then we are... then we only have 8 more stories left to complete, and I think we're doing pretty good because we've got a number of them on chapter 3. You know, I will say this. I do appreciate good history, and I think they do a good job of adding history to this game in ways that make me happy. Just for the note. Noting it. Yeah, so I've just been like thinking about the ways to make combat sort of seem dynamic and exciting, and I don't necessarily think that withholding the hit points, if it's a hit point game, from the players is the way to go. Yeah. I want to know what his true form looks like too. I think we're going to find out right now. What do you look like? We're going to find out right now. Give it to me. Here we go.
You're free to sit down by me here as anywhere. Wouldn't that be something if that were true?
Ooh. Wow.
Fact is, I ain't safe for you. You get found with me tonight, they'll think you're Union too, no matter what you tell them.
I'm going to sit with you anyway. I'm a skeleton hobo.
Even when it seems we're all alone, and you've done nothing to deserve it, you ain't free.
Hmm.
I do appreciate the company. If we make it through the night, be sure to say you ain't never met me. For us both. See anything exciting out there on the road? Mostly I just seen dogs.
We're going to be using some character stories because we need to, you know, we're going to tell character stories to max this out. That's what we're doing. Just because
Brings me back. There was a time when me and Big Ben could just enjoy exciting stories like this one. Innocent. Luck. When you know you ain't gonna be alone in it, that's when you know you struck it lucky. Where's it you headed from here, friend?
I don't know.
Alone, right?
Because I'm a skeleton hobo. I'm always going alone.
Anyway, I need something to laugh about. Got any funny ones?
Nope. I don't. Like, I have dead people stories, but I'll tell you Jimmy's parable. Good. Yeah, we're gonna finish this one up today.
Oh boy. You watch out now, or I'll start chuckling. Trust. Well, maybe you are one of their spies.
I'm not.
And you got me.
Nope. I'm not a company man.
I did all my thinking on this. I decided I'd rather die smiling, both my hands open, relying on the person beside me, than almost any other way this is available to a person where I'm from.
Hey, do you think that people who don't know anything about history play this game and then learn things?
I've gone down in the pitch blackness, choking on the devil's breath, all because a man I trusted was behind me. Why not choose to believe in the person you're with? I'm choosing you, in that sense, tonight.
I hope so too. I hope so, right? Because this is so rich and it's so thoughtful. This game really gives you things to think about. I hope.
Anyway, I need to think about something else. Know any scary stories? Any spooky stuff?
I do. Like, that is a thing that I know. But I'm afraid that you won't. Yeah, I would hope they would go out and look for themselves as well. You know? You know what? I'm not going to take any chances. Not taking any chances. We're going to max this out.
Damn. Every so often, I like one of those scary campfire tales.
I wonder if I'm going to need to
Kevin?
meet him again.
Mother Jones once said that carrying a vote is the same as carrying a bayonet.
Hmm.
I imagine a sea of weapons laid down, a foam of words writ down instead, and all of us miners going onward. Onward with them to freedom. Real freedom.
You know, it's so fascinating because this is so topical. Like, this is about the 30s-ish, but it also is very relevant to today in various ways.
Abiding, she said, all that law abiding, then we get a jag. Yeah, when that day comes, a skinful will be real nice. A skinful or two, and a morning's honest work to soldier through. Grateful. See anything exciting out there on the road? Mostly I just seen dogs.
I'm just, you know, I'm not taking chances. Here's the story about Thea's Blues. Just, that's it. Just not even worried about it.
Popular mealtime where I'm from. Keep a whole crew glued, I bet.
I think I need one more.
Imprisonment? If I'm honest, friend, I'm scared almost every day. And I think a lot about how it could have been worse. Could have died when I was a child, like a mule in the mine. Could have spent days starving for air and light before I kicked it. Could have let these men with their felt hats and their women with the poodles and pearls run machines over me and my friends and family my whole life, and well into the after. One word of advice. Life on the run is no life for a living thing. But sometimes it's better than being run over.
There are students out in the hallway.
I need a laugh. Know any good jokes?
No, you've come to the wrong skeleton hobo. But I'll tell you the story of Ray's Lament. I think I'm going to max him out right this time.
You got some wit, stranger.
Thank you. I drive by the church Mother Jones worked out of, a lot of it by, oh, it's by Hydesville. Ooh, that's cool.
Freedom.
That's cool.
At the end of the day, I just want to say where my bones go. Don't seem like too much to ask. Hey, what's freedom mean to you?
Well, I'm a skeleton hobo who's been contracted by the devil to get people's stories, so I don't think I have freedom.
You can sit here with me tonight, break my bread, stoke the fire, count the stars, and then maybe I'll keep the first watch. It's a sign of friendship, and you keep the next.
All right. You know what's interesting, though? I think about the ways in which people romanticize living out in the wild like that. But, like, sleeping on the side of the road is not fun. That's all I'm saying.
Make it on like that till the sunrise, and we're close enough to free, ain't we?
Sorry if it's loud out there. We did it, by the way. We did it. I feel really good. But the devil is Sting the musician, so that's kind of neat. That's true. That is kind of neat. I mean, if we're going to have a devil, might as well be Sting. So we did really well. We might be able to hit one more, because I think there are. Let's see, where are we at? Let's look at our map. Where can we find more friends? The Tim Curry is the devil and also amazing. So according to our map, it looks like we can. I don't think we need to hit Florida, but there is someone, it looks like, right over there in this area. So if we start heading west, we can probably head over to Indiana, take the train up that way. Tim is just a legend. So let's head west to Indiana, and maybe we can take that train up there. I think. If they disagree about Tim Curry, they can go to another school. So Tim Curry is amazing. Like, that is like a true statement. Tim Curry's amazing. Like, that's it. Triple M, that depends on your theology. Some people do not think the devil is a legend. Some people think the devil is literally real. So, you know. Tim will always be the general from Command and Conquer, or from Rocky Horror. Tim is Rocky Horror, Command and Conquer, Clue, The Worst Witch. Oh, Tim Curry. Tim Curry's got such a great voice. We read the story about the bull that bled forever without dying. You're shocked. It's the story of the stabbed and bleeding bull with some bits changed. Do you think it really happened? Yeah, yes, totally. All right, we're going to take the train. Oh yeah, OG clown from It as well. Yes, creepy, but true. Then we cycle back around. Yes. By the way, Triple M, it's so good to see you. I don't see you enough. I'm gonna just advance the story. Some say the devil is dead and buried in Killarney. Some say he rose again and joined the British Army. That's a good one. There's a story. And we're telling this story about Casey Jones, the fastest railroader in America. You realize it's a story of Casey Jones, the theatrical railroader, but changed in a few major ways. So it's definitely part bullshit, right? But also a little real. I'm gonna say it's not bullshit, because I'm a skeleton hobo. And I think we're gonna just take the train, is what we're gonna do. There's a train right here, and we're gonna take it. Also, the Bishop in Man in the Iron Mask. Let's hop a train. I'm afraid we're gonna get beaten up, but we're going to Chicago. Hopefully we don't die. Maybe we'll learn something cool while we're there. You hop off the boxcar and successfully sneak your way out of the train yard without catching any unwanted attention. Look at us. We are cooking with gas, as they say. I was just talking to, that's who we want to meet. I was just talking to my students about 1920s slang and how there was a lot of it for being drunk. Because don't you think slang is so funny? Like we just decide to, like it's lit is the new thing, but like why do we pick that one? Why is that? Where did that come from? I think slang is fascinating. All right, we're gonna talk to this person. I don't know who it is. I don't know where they're at. What they want? Oh, it's Cassidy. It's my buddy.
Here you are. I should have known we'd meet again.
It's my buddy Cassidy. He's Neil Cassidy, the beatnik. Every time I read the word space, I read it in Tim Curry's voice. That's fair. Turnt. Yeah, Turnt's another one. Like, we just come up with these weird things and we just do it and everybody starts using them. I think it's so odd.
We had good odds. I think I'll wander every road in the nation twice before I find an answer to my pain.
Oh, yeah? Well, he talks like this. It's good. Thank you. It's good to see you. I'm a hermit cryptid. I need to hang more on streams. Yeah, hang out with us. Well, being drunk was illegal, so using slang kept you from prison. This is fair. This is fair.
Well, every road but the paths back to Frisco. I haven't decided whether I'm going back there yet.
And also, I imagine that people in the Prohibition era were really consumed with alcohol. They consumed it, but also like it was really on people's minds, so they're always talking about it, right? Oh, right? It's our sad beatnik.
Silas don't want me in their lives. They have a new family now, and it doesn't include me.
Awkward.
Sometimes I want to hear a sadness that resonates with my own. Do you know any stories like that?
Sad stories? Why, yes, I do know sad stories. I know a lot of them. I have you have a bootlegger for a great-grandfather? Nice. I want a sad story. I've got farmers who give me lemonade. I feel like that's a sad story, apparently. Maybe? I think the farmer lemonade. No.
That reminded me of the kind of thing I used to write in school, just to be shocking.
No, I think that might be scary, that one.
Wishes come true? Well, someone got what they wanted. Pauline did.
I know lit can be, no, lit I think is just if it's something's cool, right? Rather than cool, it's lit. Like if it's...
She hung out with us weirdos, tolerated
Cool.
us, played along, and yet what she really wanted was to settle down and have a normal life with someone. Just straight ahead marriage. A good American couple. Kids too, why not?
We're not...
Ironically,
yeah.
it was Silas who said once to watch out for your dreams coming true. That it's often a curse.
Originally stoned.
I wonder what Silas himself wanted. Did his wishes come true?
I feel like this party is lit.
Sometimes I want to hear a sadness that resonates with my own. You know any stories like that?
I do. I will pick better this time. I will pick a better sad story. How about the... how about the story of the sugarcane farmer who took criminals from the jails and worked them into his fields until they died? Because I feel like that's pretty terrible.
That reminded me of the kind of thing I used
Apparently
to write in
not.
school, just to be shocking.
Just blaze it. Iffy. 421 blaze it.
Choices used to bother Silas.
I'm having
He used
bad
to
luck
worry
right
a
now.
lot about doing the right thing. He had a strong sense of morality.
Yeah, lit like fire.
I was different from him in that way. The right thing isn't the thing I naturally want to do. Frequently, I don't do it, and I have to deal with the consequences. But I don't see why I shouldn't keep pursuing that. I'm built around a bundle of desires, just like anyone else.
I feel like this guy's read a lot of Freud.
There were times when I thought Silas could see things this way too. Last town I stopped in, I didn't have cash for the bookstore. Do you have any stories like those paperback adventures?
You want thrilling stories. 422, braze it. Something like, something thrilling. This is... Oh, I have some sad stories there for him. Yeah, how about... the story of the cart horse faster than the steam train, maybe? That would be 350, braze it. Yeah, low and slow. That's fair. Yeah, you
I
don't...
don't think I'm in the intended audience for that joke.
Oh, so I think the... I'm
Is love a
striking out, by the way.
spiritual failing?
Cart horse might be funny? Maybe?
Silas was interested in Zen, and sometimes he would talk about cutting off desires, breaking away from attachments to forms. The irony isn't lost on me that I failed so completely at this, especially as it regards him. Is he so spiritually accomplished that he can do that about me?
I feel like you're not communicating with Silas very
He
well.
just sit there in his perfect meditation, feeling no desire, needing no one.
Ah, my friend.
So, then why is he with someone right now?
Maybe you had a bad breakup.
Sometimes I want to hear a sadness that resonates with my own. Do you know any stories like that?
I do. I know sad stories. I will tell you some sad stories. Like the story of the maritime strikers murdered by police. That is sad. I hope. Come on.
Tragedy in that story,
Thank you.
it's real.
Yes.
Have you ever tried writing poetry?
Yes.
When you fight a thought,
We got this.
don't believe in the romanticism of being an outcast or a rebel. I did that once. It's a mistake. Don't think you're going to escape society's judgment, no matter how strongly you believe you're in the right.
Okay.
In the end, what people thought of us affected us, even while we pretended it didn't. I think that was too much to bear, even for Silas.
What you're trying to say is that you're like, I'm a rebel, I don't care about society, but you really do. To be trace it. That took a little research. Remember the pencil grades. To be trace it. Yeah. Yeah. We're the all dead baby channel all the time. I think it's because I'd had a lot going on with him, so I did.
I need an optimistic story right now. Something to put a smile on my face. Can you think of any like that?
Probably, but I don't need to give you one because I've already opened your eye. It was a super sad story, and I'm not going to give you one of my few happy stories. I'm going to try to figure out the story of the anonymous grave. That could be interesting. I don't know if that's a happy story or it's not. Like, what do we do with that?
Words are power, friend. So, use them carefully.
So I think that was a sad
My
story.
first tip, avoid the maudlin.
Whatever.
Looking back at the past.
Whatever.
Well, it's just like reading a long list of times I was a fool. Here's an example. Pauline used to write too. Silas and I agreed she wasn't particularly talented.
Probably because, never mind. You know what? Whatever, Neil Cassidy. Sorry. It's just, I know these, like, whatever.
She tried too hard to sound like the writers we adored back then. The attempts were so stodgy sounding, I called them the Pauline epistles, which made Silas laugh and laugh.
Yeah, tell us about the bus again, Neil.
Back then, I thought I was so high up, so secure.
But I bet you were insufferable.
But in the end, he still chose her over me. I suppose after a while, I'll start to realize how little I can change and accept myself as an uprooted poet howling unheard into the winds, seething with anger and pain.
So here's the thing about this guy. I think this guy needs to do... This guy's a little bit too...
Exiled to a little island of suffering surrounded by storm clouds.
This guy needs to do some self-work.
Really just a sad little bum that nobody cared about.
Like, the thing about him is he's this kind of person that is self-indulgent in his sorrow, if you know what I mean. Like,
That sounds about right.
He's really invested in him
Gone
being...
on long enough. Next, I'm traveling out this way. Keep an eye out for me if you find yourself over.
Yeah, I will. Like, I think he's invested in a particular kind of coolness in his suffering, if you know what I mean. But you know what we can do, my friends? We can just go over there and finish his story right now before we end our stream, because we will max that out. Oh, classic bipolar. Oh, ooh. Gere. That's a really good reading. That's a really good reading. I'm gonna think about that. What that means. You know what I mean? Like how to read him through that lens. Yeah. Yeah. I like that. She's telling everyone in her party the story about the farmers who hid their murdering son from the law. It's clearly the story of the farmers who gave you lemonade, but changed in a few entertaining ways. Isn't that something, she asks. I need to figure... Takes one to know one. Yeah. I'm going to think about that when I talk to him. For this last time, we get to see what his final form is, everyone. This is going to be it. Final form. He was. Neil Cassidy was super self-indulgent and self-involved. He was. But then again, a lot of the beatniks were as well. Like, they were sort of, in that there's a particular kind of self-indulgent self-destructiveness, if that makes any sense. Like, there are people who are self-destructive, and there are people who are like, I'm self-destructive. Aren't I cool? Like, there's a difference between people who are self-destructive unknowingly, or they can't help it. But there's a certain also, like, I'm self-destructive and that makes me cool, that you're like, oh, yeah, you know what I mean? You know what I mean, right? Those people who are like, who are into it in a particular way. Yeah. All right.
Looks like I'm still me and you're still you.
Really? Wait a minute. No final form? Wait a minute. That's weird.
A pity, isn't it? To be stuck with ourselves like this.
Whoa. He has no final form.
All this wandering, and I couldn't escape the one thing I wanted to be away from more than anything else.
Whoa. Yeah, when self-destruction to personal rent. So I think he doesn't have a final form.
I suppose that in the end, we all have to settle down inside ourselves.
Wow. Yeah, his final form is the tragedy of humanity. Well, that's deep.
But I don't want to be the way I am now.
But you are.
If I could, I'd live inside the past. Inside the time Silas and I had together.
Wow, he is his final form. That's so interesting.
Back on the road together, forever.
Wow. That's a nice twist.
I need an optimistic story right now. Something to put a smile on my face. Can you think of any like that?
I'm gonna do final stories to max you out, my friend. But that's really interesting. That's interesting. It does, it fits really well.
That's a good one. We do reach up like that.
Yeah.
Let's hope.
That's really interesting.
Authority. Well, sometimes Jess and I worried that Silas would get in trouble.
See, this is what's cool about this game, right? That you think you know what the pattern is, and then they mix it up on you. That's really cool.
Not out in the world, but with the senses. He was the type to attract that sort of attention.
Oh, yeah.
A great novel must sing its truth in defiance of the powers that would have it silenced. A great work of art transcends the shallow morals of its era and challenges what we think we know. Especially what we think we know about ourselves.
Oh, that would be weird, right? If he were the first person that we got to the final form for, but then he didn't change. Yeah, this is true, Vulpes. But they actually didn't get the award. They got nominated, but they didn't win. The game that won was Night in the Woods, which we're playing after this one. Yeah, I think that'd be really interesting.
Alone, out here. I spend